Welcome to the Pukekohe round of the 2K Cup, proudly presented by CRC and Fair Go Car Loans.
Wet conditions dominated qualifying with Graham Ball taking the pole.
The Shane Geddes came off too.
Stephen Fistonich there in the Salika.
Fourth was Stephen Gaskell.
And John Jelly and Ben Harford in fifth place. 2.8 Ks Pukekohe.
Huge 89 competitors competing this weekend.
And with a lap record of a 122.14 by Simon Rowlandson in the Integra. As we move to the not top 10 shootout, not top 10, it means they're trying to fight to get to the fast grid. Warren Crowther won the battle with Sean Jackson, Paul Smith also making it.
Rounding out the five was Matthew Smith and James Parkinson.
Parkinson will be in this slow race and off to see Warren.
Yeah, the race is about to start, and what have we got?
The not top 10 shootout. Our winner here for 2,000 Nigerian Negras. Good work, mate. Congratulations on the car 318.
So tell us, what did you do to win this?
Drove the doors off it, kept it out of the barriers, and went hard.
All right, well we better cut back to the track because they're about to go racing. How much is this actually worth?
$7.
20 cents.
20
it's
cents.
A pie and a Coke.
A pie and a Coke. All right, let's get out there and get racing.
Oh, a pie and a Coke would go down well right now.
Yeah, don't get the anti-sugar brigade onto it though.
James Parkinson on pole with Carl Gaines outside. That's a dual driver with Chris Graney. Looking John Endicott's come back from a big accident last round with a new car for this round. Josh Colligan there too as they get off and started. As we see them battle goes down, James Whitlock there in the BMW. He's flying with Skippy in the orange car as the leaders come through 2 and 3 wide back there. McCarllis in the 323 decides better and pulls in and makes it 2 wide as they come round into the corner 2, and let's see what they can do here as they fan out here through these fast corners.
Track's still drying a little bit there, so you don't want to be too far offline.
Yeah, it's important to stay on line here as they go wide. As Skippy there in the Premier panel beaters car working on the back straight. There's John Endicott getting on there in the New Zealand Grinders car as they work through the colours of this field as they work down the back straight. 2 and Levin's up the front there. It's a good battle there as they weave down the back straight trying to get the move done as we see them get the braking zone. But look, the whole field of 40 cars on that back straight at once.
Yeah, quite amazing there. Really interesting to watch the power of the Hondas there. You wouldn't say that in F1.
No, definitely not. Red Bull, Brendan Hartley would like a few more horsepowers as they come through here. James Parkinson leads them off. James has got a good history in motorsport. He helps out with some of the GT3 cars and stuff like that as a crewman, and got to do his own racing here in 2K Cup as the Pack and Save Stickman car comes out. Dean Jones there in the Primera is working hard. He'll struggle when the track dries out. And look at that battle there between McCarllis and Whitlock as they come through side by side there. We see Skippy makes the move on McCarllis as well as they come over the top of the hill. Oh, just a touch of the brakes there to get it all settled.
Brave stuff offline there in the wet.
As they come over the top of the hill, let's see what happens as down the straight they go. James Whitlock, he puts it into 4th and he's going to hit the rev limiter there as he comes down and into the corner. It just hits that rev limiter as he comes down into the corner. James Whitlock battling there with Skippy Pascoe.
Tell you what, great to see side-by-side racing there, no contact made.
So they've worked their way through here. Oh, he's made the move stick from the outside, and here comes McCarllis following him through. Skippy's beat the hole and McCarllis is going to follow that drum through. So they work on the back straight. We're now in car with Martin Taylor. As look at that Integra go. And watch the battle in front. That's the McCarllis and Skippy battle as they go down. McCarllis is in the draft and he's going to pull out. What do you think with the lighter car?
Really interesting there. The Mazda's doing pretty well there. Wouldn't have expected the Estina to have that much go.
Yeah, it's got good go and it's managed to get in the draft, and look at it break late and managed to pull it up. Matthew Randall there in the Levin just in front of them as they come through here. Randall's kept him wide, so Skippy's going to jump up. Is he going to make it 3 wide down to the hairpin this time?
Oh, this is amazing. Any other class, 2 wide is something special, but 3 wide, 2K Cup happens every race.
Yes, and a big brake lock up there from McCarllis. He's trying hard. He's made it up to 5th place now, and he's tried hard to get there. We're going to see some faster guys who are affected in qualifying come through, so he's going to be pushing to get up to that group as Skippy's there right behind them as they battle through. Look at the colours of all the different cars as they come through. We see Chris Watson coming through there now in the Salika. Steve Simon there in the Levin as we get the last of the back runners come through the picture, as over the start finish line they go again. Out the front, the two Levins, followed by an Integra Primera Fastina, then another Primera, then the Levin, and now we see this battle with Martin Smith. We go in car with Martin as he's going to try and make a move on Matthew Randall. Matthew did a great qualifying in the wet and is just dropping back a little bit now as he's struggling for power, it looks like. He's left the door open there and he goes up the inside. In front we saw Skippy do the same move on the similar Primera as they battle there. It looks like Skippy's missed a gear as they go down the back straight. Rachel Norris further back now. Rachel, one of the leading ladies in 2K Cup, getting a good group of ladies racing now in 2K Cup, which is fantastic to see as she gets the power on versus the 101 of the Coca-Rola. And look at the gear changes. She's just flashing through the gears here. As they go past the slower car, Tim Manderson, who had 49 kilowatts on the dyno. As we're back to this lead pack, it's still going on.
Did you just say 49 kilowatts on the dyno?
49 kilowatts on the dyno and still out and racing and having a great time. The leading cars were just over 100, so it's double the horsepower as they work their way through. Look at Taylor and it's going to be a battle here. Taylor and Michaelis. Taylor can't get down there, so he hasn't got clean of him, but he'll get him through here. There's no way you want to be too wide. Michaelis!
Brave stuff going up and over the hill at Pukekohe.
There's a lot of cars that ended up on the wall through there as we see Hugh Paris come through on the Citroen, been running that car since season 1. That's the same motor since season 1 with 300,000 kilometres on the clock.
And still giving him good horsepower out of that engine as well.
He's been trying here, battle pack here with Greenie in the lead of it, with Jones just behind him. Martin Taylor, the mover in the field. He's come from way back in this race. He tries to make a move there, sticks up the inside and tries to get drive as they go down the back straight.
Yeah, you can see him starting to suck up on the car behind him now. He's going to get past easy, I think.
Yeah, that's just pure power there. Use the draft and slip down the inside and go into the braking zone as they come through again. It's a good little battle here. Taylor's been a real mover through the field in this race. As he makes that move stick further back, we come back to Whitlock. He's having a good little battle there with Bertram. And another Integra there. Looks like of the Hughes family as they come through. He's got a bad run there and Bertram's been let by Whitlock. Whitlock's got up the inside in the BMW. That engine hasn't lasted. We've put the commentator's curse.
Poor old Hugh Paris.
300,000 kilometres wasn't going to be any more than that. It wasn't going to be 301 as he gets out of the car safely in a good position there. As we come back to our race leader. Then the little team stickmen up the front there. The Pack and Save boys are doing well. New runners in 2K Cup this year and they've been getting quicker and quicker as they go. Parkinson behind and Greenie. As there goes Jordan Stickings getting out of the way. It's hard as a back marker. You've just got to try and hold your line. You don't want to go too wide like that. Back up to our leaders. Parkinson gets to the outside. It's going to be too wide over the top of the hill with Manderson. As Greenie watches behind there as they come up over the top of the hill. Grainie's going to try and make the move to the inside, but Parkinson blocks him as you see Taylor get a good run down the front straight, and he's pulling up on that group of 3 as well. He's going to make this a lead battle of 4 shortly.
Yeah, starting to get really interesting now with the back markers starting to come into play as well.
Yeah, it's a real thing with the 2K Cup with 33-minute races. It just allows cars to get lapped, which creates another thing for the front runners to work with. Taylor's just got a little wide there, and that's lost him drive down the straight. Just little issues like that is what makes a huge difference between the cars because they're so close and just stock factory standards. As we see those 2 Levins at the front, but the Integras behind are stalking, and they've got a good little break back to the next group. Still Carl Gaines out the front, followed there closely behind by James Parkinson as they keep on working through these back markers. That can be a second or 2 sometimes if you just catch a back marker at the wrong place, if you've got a hold and you can't go by. As they're closing up again here as they work through. Look at that big pack they're coming up to. It's going to be interesting.
It's a big lot of traffic that'll get through here. This could really change the game here.
It could do, and that's really a thing for the leaders to worry about as they try and get through here. As he's caught behind the Celica, can these other guys get a run behind him? As they come up over the hill, he's gone wide there. He's got caught up. Makes the move to the inside, does Parkinson, and Graney follows through as well as Gaines is on the outside there, 3 wide down here. They make move through. Gaines has got to let him past as he got stuck behind that back marker, and that's a change for the lead. As we come up on Stuart Reid, he's battling with the little MX-5 as they come through this nimble MX-5.
Yeah, I tell you what, they're all tripping over each other a little bit here. This could get a little bit dodgy.
Yeah, it's just so important that they stay on their racing line. You get down too wide as the leader comes through there. He's really got to work right now to try and make the win, because this is the time when you can lose it, as we saw from Carl Gaines there in the Team Stickman car. As look at Taylor try and go around the outside of all of them.
Parkinson putting on the lights there, just letting the slower cars know that he's coming up.
It's just such a battle group here as they're working and having their own race there, as the Letitia Eyewear Civic there and Chris Morris there in car 404 working hard down into the hairpin, and our oldest competitor Neil Rose at the front. These guys, the back markers, are still working through, so they're working really hard to come through. As there our MX-5 comes out as he's getting swamped by that next group.
3 or 4 faster guys just behind him trying to get past. Such a tough situation for him.
He's trying to let them go, but look, he's a little bit wide back there as he hit the wet patch. It's into the wall, and here
not too bad.
The big hit there by Skippy. What a worry. I hope the driver's all right. We see Skippy leaning forward there, checking everything's all right. Hopefully he's okay. Yeah, we've got a wave there, and we're seeing some movement out of that MX-5, so hopefully we've got 2 safe drivers there.
That was a massive impact.
As our leaders race down to the end of the race. And we'll have to see that, but come back to that battle, that accident there, it's a big one. And as we see go in car with Stuart Reid, they come around the hairpin. It's just too late. He's just seen him, he's popped out trying to make maybe a pass on the car in front of him, and that's just led him straight into it. As we see another angle.
Nothing you can do in that situation here. You see the impact. Just the car turns around in front of him, nowhere to go.
Yeah, just directly into it as our leaders come down for the win, and that's Chris Graney with the win, followed by James Parkinson. Then the Team Stickman car, John Endicott in 4th.
Martin Taylor was 5th, followed by Jamie Anderson in 6th.
James Whitlock there in 7th, Dean Jones in 8th.
9th was Josh Colligan.
Michael McAllister in the Fastina, he faded there near the end and back to 10th place. Matthew Randall in 11th. And Stuart Reid in 24th was one we watched in that race. As we go to our race winner, Chris Graney.
So tell us, obviously you won Group 1, Race 1, yeah?
Yep. Started 3rd, finished 1st after a bit of a battle with the front guys. 3 of us at the front were pretty even on speed, and managed to get through in the traffic. With the slow guys holding up, I managed to slip through on the inside and took it away. First actual race win in 2K Cup, so it's good.
Well, it's winners and grinners there from Chris. As we see the lineup, we've gone through the top 5. So Adam Carpenter there in 8th is one to watch. Also Roden Wooten. Chris Hughes has come back into the series. Mark Mallard down in 15th. Simon Owers in 19th. As they're off and racing, we'll get the grid come through as we watch them come through. Look at Roden Wooten side by side with Ian Wallace, last year's champion, as they're 3 wide in front of him as he squeezes the gap. It's been a slow start from Fistonich, and he's gone round 3 cars there with a big move from Wooten. As we go inside John Scriven's car and look back at Gary Rush. Gary come from Formula Atlantic Racing to give us a go at 2K Cup as he works his way onto the back straight. Let's see what he can do with the power of the Integra, as he's got the Levin on the outside and then the other Integra of Scriven, who we saw from earlier, as they get the power down and down it goes down the back straight. Shows you what run onto the back straight does.
Yeah, a combination there of really good power out of the Integra and a great run onto the back straight.
And they're fanning out. The old proverbial throw the blanket over them doesn't apply in 2K Cup, but you can get more than under a blanket.
A little bit of contact there. 2 cars just coming out of the complex.
And there's Geddes out in front. He's shown a clean pair of heels. Ball is going to be doing so much work in this car. It just doesn't have the horsepower of the others. As look at them 2 and 3 wide as they come out there. Vidvonovich in the MR2 getting bogged there. He's taken his son's fast lap and dropping back a little bit now as he comes through. And as Carpenter, one of the fastest cars in the series, gets on his tail, he's going to make him work as they come over the top of the hill. Mallard there with Wallace right behind him. They've had a battle. Mallard up into the top 10 from 15th place on the start. That's a big move from him. As we work down, here's the Fairgo Carlone's car on the inside as Carpenter makes his move stick as he goes round. And now Vidvanovic moves back as we see the Euro Rider car there. He worked through that field on that first lap so well, didn't he?
Fantastically turned out car as well. What a great livery.
As they work their way down the back straight, we see Ben Harford in the front of that group in the Levin. Ben Harford, an ex-Toyota Racing Series driver. As they work down the back straight, we can see that new Celica now putting pressure on Vidvanovic as the three Integras in front come to the braking zone. And Carpenter makes the move. He's just flicked out there at the last minute, tries to make the move down the inside. But no, he's not having anything to do that, is Roden Wooten. Ben Harford here in the AE111 Levin is leading this group here, followed by Gaskell. And then we see, Carpenter's made the move to the inside. Can he make it stick this time?
Looks like he's got it done this time around.
That's a good clean pass. They're three wide further back. Mallard, Dave Wright and Vidvanovic, they're working together. Wallace is going to try and take advantage of this, of those three cars three wide. As he's moved past now Verrett, he's going to come up onto Vidvanovic as they come through this really wet, tricky part of the track as it's dried off from earlier. But he manages to pull back in as they come over the top of the hill, but he tries to make a move down onto the inside, and they'll be revving those cars as they go down the straight full power. Wright tries to make the move as well as they come down into it. It's a big over rev of the engine there. That's probably hit 10,000 RPM as he's gone wide there. Lucky not to have engine coming out the tailpipe as Hughes makes the move through as well as they work their way through and onto the back straight. Wright and Wallace, good friends off the track, but there will be no friendships on the track with those two. We see this lead group of Integras. They're battling for fourth place right now. As they come down, Adam Carpenter trying to make the move down the end of the back straight again. It'll be a second time he's made that move on another Integra. He's managed to get past Gaskell there with a good clean move under brakes. Roden Wooten now trying to take advantage as well, as Shane Geddes is just showing a clean pair of heels out the front.
He's really benefiting from the three behind him having a great old battle.
Graham Ball there still working hard. He's done well to keep that BMW up as far as he is. But you see those Integras behind having the battle, and I think Carpenter's the one with the pace to come through. If he can get clean space, he'll do well. Mallard working back up onto the back of Fistanich. And you got Wallace there and Wright and Hughes as the next battles come through. Steve Hughes there on the outside in the Levin, and the Manuka Doctor car of Mike Hoft. His son is also racing with a Micah, former racer from the 70s. As we see Vidvanovic come up over the top of the hill there, as we see the retired furniture car of Phil Page. Phil, been running in the series for a couple of years, never raced before and learnt so much. His driving's got so much quicker. As Hughes looks to the inside. Now we come in car with John Scriven, working on O'Connell here as they work their way out of the complex. What a great shot we have here. Really shows the pace of the cars.
Yeah, certainly you see the Levin or the Torino in front moving around on the tyres.
Yeah, looks a little bit softly set up that car as he has a little brake lock up there as he goes into the corner. That's going to cause him trouble coming out, and yeah, there he goes. The Integra power is worked up as let's see them come over the top of the hill here from full pace.
The iconic car in the series, driven by Rooney in front, the only station wagon in the series.
Look at the speed over the top. That shows a better angle of what the driver sees as they work down this straight. They're doing about 185k an hour as they come down into corner one. What a great angle here we've got from the John Scriven car. Brandon Willis coming in here. Look, we've got one off. That's Dominic Earl Peacock. What's going to happen here as he comes through? He's got sideways there trying to miss Earl Peacock, and he's spun it. Will he hit the barrier here? He's pulling it up.
Just a little bit of a touch. Hopefully that hasn't caused too much damage.
He's got it going straight away. That's good. Brandon is a proud New Zealand Canadian Kiwi who's racing. I think he's taken a bit of New Zealand out as he gets back on the track. Hopefully everything's all right. We know it is. He's pulled the shucker as he comes by. Looks for the spot in the mirror, but gives us the it's all okay. As out comes Grover out of the pits as the leaders come through. There's some battles going on here with Fistanich and Mallard, but out the front, we're still going to see no changes as these two Integras battle with Roden Wooten in the Euro Rider car. Really pushing hard. Onto the back straight they come. Carpenter's out front. He's now pushing on Ball. Ball's now going to have struggle with the power of the Integra as it pulls up on him. But Ball's not doing too badly down the back straight here. The BMW showing impressive pace. It's got better drive normally with the rear wheel drive, not doing so much work with the driving wheels as these front wheel drive cars do. Works through the complex here. Will he be able to set up and move? Carpenter might be a little bit far back here. As they work their way round, Carpenter's going to come up. Oh, he's managed to duck down the inside, has he? Ball, good driving there, leaves a bit of space, runs wide, has to square off the corner, and that won't let him get the drive down, even though he's got rear wheel drive as Carpenter comes round the outside. That's a change for third spot. Ball's going to fall back into the handles of those two Integras behind him as they work over the top of the hill. That Ball car looks... Oh, it's just got a nice little drift over the top there, doesn't it?
It's a good handling car, that one, by the looks of things.
And we see the battle still raging there between Gaskell and Roden Wooten. Those two Integras are evenly matched as they fight round one. Oh, Ball's run wide there. Managed trying to get round Carpenter, but not able to do it. As they come through here, the Euro Rider car is really pushing there well. We get back to our leader, and he's passing Warren Crowther, the not-so-fast top 10 winner that we saw at the start of the program with his pie and a Coke money there, as he watches from in-car here as Geddes is pacing through the field. That's Matt Smith in front of him as Geddes works in the MR2 to catch up onto these back markers. We showed you in the last race, back markers can make a big effect in this series.
Once again, some more great shots of just how close this class is. 4 or 5 at least cars shown in that shot.
And we're in with Matt Smith. Matt's a virtual racer. He's had some great successes, won over $2,000 in a competition at Sky City, and also got a free trip to Germany with WRC rallying through Hyundai. Got a trip up to the Hyundai factory in Germany and got to compete against the top rally drivers in the world on virtual rallying. So that's a pretty cool thing from him. As our leaders come through, and look, Harford's been able to take advantage and really pulled up here. He's going to need a clean run through. Look, he's got through the inside, and look, Smith jumps on that inside trail with him. As they work round through these two corners and onto the back straight, he's got a clean gap on those drivers behind there, so he'll be happy with that. Use the front runner like the back markers sometimes are blockers for passes. He's used the front runner to get through. As we come down to our race win, that's going to be Shane Geddes coming over the top of the hill. Shane has raced so well for that clean win. He's not had too many problems, got through the back markers so well. We see Paul Graney right behind him, and then we see our next competitor there is the Harford car across the line, the taxi of Matt O'Gorman, Paul Smith there. It looks like 1, 3, 4 there giving us a wave, which is fantastic. Our next runner is Adam Carpenter, and then side by side behind is Gaskell. It manages to beat Roden Wooten. Mark Mallard there. Rooney's coming through. We've got a slow runner down as Ball comes across the line. That's been a great run from Ball in the top 10 as Jason Ward in that beautiful Civics had some problems there on the last lap. And James Smith comes through. We had Chris Hughes after him, who should be our next car across the line. And then Dave Verright will be the next one after him as they pass the Trass car there at the end. That's a lap back runner. As Verright comes across, Steve Hughes, Phil Page, and then Gary Rush will be the next one that comes through. John Scriven in 17th, we went in car with him. Last year's champ was Ian Wallace. He was in 18th place.
And 35th Matthew Smith as well, we saw a bit of as well. Warren Crowther, we were in car with him, I believe, as well.
And off to our winner, Shane Geddes.
Race 1, Group 2. Tell us how it went.
Yeah, good. The car, we had a pretty good setup on the car. Had to manage the rear tyres a little bit. Especially coming up the hill, you're putting a lot of weight on. But no, it's good. The setup was on. It seemed pretty clean. The car was pretty balanced. It was good. Good fun, great fun.
Lost control, out of time.
Welcome to the Pukekohe round of the 2K Cup, proudly presented by CRC and Fairgo Car Loans.
So 90 odd cars. So there's 40 cars on the grid. It's quite busy trying to even get out of the car park.
It is a bit of a traffic jam over there. I can't understand why they don't build a tunnel, because we've got tunnels around Auckland, It'd be nice to have a tunnel here too,
You were tuning your radio just then. What are you listening to?
Just the cricket. The Gronholm's in, he is going crazy. It's all good.
Can you hear that, people? He is listening to the cricket.
And he certainly played a good, tidy hand here. He had a little few moments.
Cheers, guys. Have a good one, eh?
Players do, of course.
Of course, this race, a reverse grid, speed groups of 4 let off at 10-second intervals.
Yeah, 10 and 10-second intervals there. So these groups will have four starts here as they go through the grid. We're going to see the first group go off. They're the slowest runners as they go off, and they'll get a good start here as Letitia on the outside tries to drag the Peugeot as they go down. Corey Jamieson there in the prelude will be one to watch. I think he's been gridded wrong or must have had a problem because that's quite a quick car out there in the little prelude, 1988 prelude. So the next group goes underway. Chris Hooker down there leading that pack off on Coca-Cola, the massive car of the Peugeot there up the front there too as they keep on running. Oh, one stalled there. Josh Colligan did well in the target car to get round the outside of it. It's a beautiful looking car, that Integra, as our Matthew Randall gets down into this first corner here as this group comes through. Now fast runners are coming from the back. Warren Crowther, he got demoted. The 5 slowest lap times from the first race and the fast race got demoted, and the 5 quickest from this one got promoted up as 427 goes around there. Got a couple of bit of scar damage there with some duct tape holding it together as they work their way onto the back straight. The key with these guys here is just fast, clean laps, trying to get through to the front of the field as Corey Jamison's already jumped out the front there. I'm not sure what's happened with the timing there because there's no way he should be that far out. But maybe his engine's going to tell us he shouldn't be there with the smoke.
Yeah, a little bit of oil smoke by the looks of things. It'll be interesting to see how long he can continue on like that.
Yeah, he's got a big head start, but he's got to worry his engine. You see Neil Rose there with the New Zealand flag coming through at the back. He's our oldest competitor in 2K Cup, well over 70 years of age, as he's still competing and enjoying his racing. As they come over the top of the hill, Stuart Reid there driving with the Peugeot of Glenn Reynolds, I think it is, pushing hard behind him in car 60. As here we go in car with James Watson as he comes up over the top of the hill. Yeah, I think he must be asking what the cricket score is or something. That's our cricket runner from before, Roy, who's listening to the cricket as they come. Oh, there's the Beams Altezza. Alan Bradley working hard through the field. That's a well set up car there. He really struggled in the wet conditions, so he's making move. And here's Fastina behind him. Back to see us again. It's that Fastina and Michael McCallis. As they work through the back markers there, Roy's there. The cricket score's going as they come onto the back straight. And the Beams Altezza moves down. The Fastina's going to try and get a draft here as they go down 4 and 5 wide down the back straight. That's got to be close. What a gaggle of cars as these fast cars come through from the back as the Fastina works his way down the back straight trying to make the pass. Has he got back past Roy? Yes, he has. He's managed to get past, and the cricket scores are not going to be passed over to Michael anymore as we see battles throughout this field. On the outside there, Jordan Stickings, James Watson there in car 5 on the inside trying to make a move. Oh, it looks like he missed a gear there or something as he jumps back there. But they work through the Integra in front as they come out of the hairpin there. 2 and 3 wide further back. See Cal Fillin there working hard in the little Peugeot. He shares with Rachel Norris as they work through and over the top of the hill. There they're going 2 wide as they come back here. Watson with another move over the top of the hill. As they come down the front straight, they see the Fastina in the rear view mirror there as they work through. The leading guys really without Jamieson out the front. They're all having a battle here for second. Is up over the wheel there is car 60. He's working hard behind Stuart Reid. Stuart Reid been running since season 1. He's been a good competitor as those 3 are in a good little battle pack there, aren't they?
Yeah, you see the Peugeot there just about lifting the inside rear wheel.
So come down to the braking zone. Really, those 2 have worked away from the Peugeot. He's got all the work to do down in the braking zone as you see these cars starting to catch them from behind. Out the front is our leader, still smoking.
remarkable that he's still going. There's quite a bit of smoke coming out of the back of that car.
There's Cal Flynn in the Peugeot working through. We saw the fast gear changes on this the first time as he comes down late under the brakes. Manages to pull up past the Integra there as he comes through. There's a good little battle here with Alan Bradley and Roy and the Integra and the Levin, the cricket watcher, as they work their way through. They're really working hard there. He's going to come to the outside and brake. Oh, he gets all sideways there, locks it up as Bradley goes down the inside. There, Roy managed to square up the corner. Let's see what he can do on power as they come through here. Been a lot of cars 2 and 3 wide through here as they come through, and that's put people. Oh, he's touched the grass there. That's a dangerous place. Oh, he's managed to get through there.
Lots of wheel work going on there. He's working it hard.
Yeah, look, that's where Fabian Coulthard went off into the wall when he touched the grass, so a little bit more forgiving in the 2K Cup car as he works over the top of the hill, and he managed to get the power down on the Altezza as we come into down the front straight past that beautiful pug there. There's James Watson in the Celica round the outside of 1, 2 with Neil Rose there. He's done well to get past these guys. McCallus right in front of him still. Oh, Neil Rose tries to show him the wheel back there, but they work through there 2 by 2 and down onto the back straight, and he's got clear of him as he can come down now. As we've had a little safety car here, as we restart the safety car, Jamison's back to the group. Let's see what he can do with the Celica right behind him.
This will play into the hands of some of the faster guys that are down the back of the field, compressing the field once again.
Yeah, some big gaps here off the start. You don't want to see those big gaps when you're further back, but some of the guys have been held up as they come over the start-finish line. Out comes Steve Simon there in the background, but we've got the leader. He's got a clean pair of heels and he's just set away, put the gap onto the Celica there as they come through and work their way onto the back straight as we see these slower runners come through as the faster cars are still trying to make their way and be allowed to pass. As here's Watson and McCallus with Bradley there in the battle. As we see Cal Flynn go to the inside, can he make the move stick on car 69? He's got to the inside, and will he drag him down the straight as they go? As he looks to make the move, he's managed to get a square line there, but he looks to have passed that Integra, showing the pug doesn't have too bad power.
Yeah, not the greatest of runs onto the back straight, but definitely got the ponies under the hood.
And here comes Watson trying to make the pass on him, as well as McCallus is there as well. There's a good little battle group here, 5, 6, 7 cars. Bradley's through there as well. Oh, sideways there from the Integra, nearly gets caught up as Josh Colligan makes the move, and there's Dale Keeley in the Blaster Cars car as well there in the little Civic, having a great battle with these guys. As they work their way out, we see them come through. Let's see who's in front now. Flynn, Jordan Stickings there getting lapped as Flynn's out in front of Watson, Bradley at the Fastina, and Dale Keeley there in the Civic doing so well. As they work their way over the top of the hill. This battle's been fantastic here as Watson's working. He's been a master around the outside there. He can't get past Manderson as they go over the top of the hill, but he'll manage to get him on power as they come down to the line. And there's the Fastina side by side, 3 wide. Let's see who's got the most gas as they come into the corner. And there's Flynn. Oh, way out wide there. Not too sure who that was on the Integra. Oh, and a spinning car there in front of us as well. Oh, that's Steve Simons had a spin there. They all break and manages to get through there. A good little stop there. One's had problems here. It looks like Stu Reed there is back onto the track he goes. He's got a little bit of rear tail damage. I think that's happened from an earlier accident as they work their way onto the back straight. This battle's still raging. Still 6 cars in contention for this spot as they come down the back straight. Be interesting to see what happens at the end of the race. We've still got Jamison out the front, but some good battles here happening further back as McCallus tries to outbrake Neil Rose as they go into the end of the back straight. It's been a good battle. Josh Colligan catches up as well, Bradley as well. They're still battling there further back, 2 wide with Dale Keeley as they work out of these corners and down to the hairpin. Cal Flynn, Norris cars doing so well, but here's Jamison in the lead. He's been just an absolute class in this race, but he's managed to keep that smoky car in the lead. And he'll take the race win.
Next across the line should be Cal Flynn.
As they come up, and then Watson there in 3rd, followed by Colligan and McCallus, Dale Keeley in 6th.
7th will be Braden Willis, followed by Alan Bradley.
Chris Hooker in 9th, Greg Larson in 10th, Stuart Reid in 11th. Mark Stevenson in 13th, Matt Rose, Sam Byrne, Tony Jenks, And Nicholas Bertram there, Warren Crowther back in 18th spot. And the Whitlock Bell Booth car, which Bell Booth was running in that race, we didn't see too much of them back in 21st position. We also, Steve Simon there, the one we saw spin, finished 25th, one lap down. Jordan Stickings losing to Tim Manderson in their battle of 49 kilowatts. As across the line comes Manderson here with a nice little gap back to Jordan Stickings. Those guys spent the whole season within about 2 seconds of each other, battling with the lowest horsepower cars, but having the absolute most fun.
And there we see the results. Corey Jamieson, 17 seconds. That is an absolute lifetime in 2K Cup.
And we come to our fast race now. Reverse staggered starters, we said groups of 10 as they go. Ones to watch here. Dave Rooney will be one to watch. Chris Greeny should be quick in the Africa racing car. Neil Mallard in 13 is another one to watch there. James Parkinson, one of our front runners in the first race, is there in 20th. Earl Peacock has stopped. He's stopped on the start line. That's a worry. That's going to be a worry. We might see a red flag here from this start as they come down. Oh, you're seeing out there, but Vodvonovic has come out wide. Oh, he's seen him late and just managed to squeeze around him. That's quite dangerous there, as these fast runners have a good head of steam up by the time they get to that car as they work off the line next. Here's the Grainy Civic there. He's got a good battle group behind him. As they come off this group here, comes off the line, they're doing well.
Tell you what, you've got to be nervous sitting there. You are a sitting duck, just waiting for the car.
Here's our second to last group. Oh, it looks like Adam Carpenter's gone early. He shouldn't have been in this group here, and here he comes through. Looks like he's gone with the wrong group. As our last group should be ready to start there, as Carpenter comes through, and he was going to be one of the fastest runners and should have been at near to the back of that group. As we see the race come down to here's our last group come through, and yes, definitely Carpenter should be in that group. As we see Shane Geddes get off to a great start in that group. But I think with the 10-second, Carpenter's going to have a huge advantage here. We'll see what happens post-race with that. As they come down, you see the groups come through, groups of 10. The key in these races here for the fast guys is to process these cars without losing as much time, little time as possible. And for the slower guys, as we see Dominic get off the grid there, not too sure what the problem was, but that car couldn't start. It's been a reliable runner in 2K Cup, so little problem there. I think we will see him back out knowing in 2K Cup styles. As our leaders come across the line, Dave Rooney looks down to the inside in that Carib wagon. He's pushing hard as the Hoffs are out the front. Mike's a senior racer who, as I said, raced in the 70s and 80s to some success in different classes. So it's good to see him back out racing now after so many years and really enjoying it. Oh, lock up there from the Ortec and Gordon Murray as Rooney gets to the inside and tries to make the move stick. Dave Rooney is a teacher out at Avondale College there and drives that car to school every day. So the wagon is practical for getting his kids' ice hockey gear apparently to the rink. As out the front you see Trask taking the lead here with the MR2s behind him. Oh, big lock up there by the Trask car. As they come through, he's run wide there. He's got to get it back across. He's really struggling in that car with the braking points of it. He's doing well though. The Trask team has been a good competitor in 2K Cup. It's a bit of a change from their GT3 cars. As we see out the lead there, Vivanovic has made his way to the lead and he's done so well. Young Peter is actually in the Motorsport Academy. He's been selected from 2K Cup to be in the Motorsport Academy, the New Zealand Motorsport Academy. He's also running in the Toyota 86 series and SsangYong Utes. So what an experienced runner, just and getting the recognition from being an original 2K Cup runner. That's what he started in the motorsport with his family. As we see Martin Taylor, one of our first race features, coming through here along with those other guys that have been promoted up. Neil Mallard there behind. As we see Graham Ball's really got through that field well. That group, he's dispatched with that group as Carpenter comes through past Mallard. And as they come down, battle zones going through there. It's fantastic, too wide there as they come through. Look at Ball throw that thing through the first corner. He's really pushing hard. He's really getting everything he can out of that car.
Watch for him. He'll be up on the back of Rooney pretty quickly.
He's got the lights flashing as he comes down. It pulls out to go past Rooney. He's flashed the lights and he's saying, I'm coming. But look at that wagon. Still got some go against him. So work down to the braking zone. I don't think Rooney's we've got trouble here as we've got Hughes off. Got a couple other cars off as they go through. There's the taxi going through there quickly as they work through. The back runners come through. Just a cloud of smoke. So there's been some problems down there through that corner there. As we go back to Ball and he's out the front of Rooney now, conveniently as they come through. Trass is there, followed by a couple of Integras. Matthew Smith doing well at the back of that group as Rooney and Ball. Ball is going to be the one to challenge, the first one I think to get up and challenge Vidvanovic as they work through. Graham Wallace there side by side there with Ball as they come through here. Ball's going to make a gutsy move to get to the inside. And he's got clean of him as Rooney comes through too. Rooney really pushing in that wagon. It's got some roll on it. So they all get in the draft and Rooney flicks out trying to make the move on Wallace as they come down to one. And he's just slid it into there, and what a good pass there by Rooney following Ball through. Really working those two cars hard to get through this traffic. It's amazing what happens when you get that faster car, you can get a toe off. So they work their way onto the back straight. Still Mike Houghton, I think that's the Trass car there at the front of this group. Seeing what's happening back further. Ball, puff of smoke, was it? Did I see a puff of smoke there, Nick?
I don't know, he's definitely lost a lot of pace there. Rooney going past him like he's standing still.
Yeah, these other guys are picking him up. I'm not sure. He seems to, maybe it was a missed gear or something. He seems to be running all right now as he gets back onto the tail of those cars. Hopefully nothing too bad for it.
Yeah, definitely looks like he's back up to speed again now, so perhaps a missed gear.
As he comes out of that corner, look, he's dropped back. Hopefully it wasn't the gear change down a gear there, because he might have given a big rev or something there to cause some problems. But that's the end of his day looking at that smoke cloud, and that won't get much further in that BMW. As the battles rage as they try and come through sideways, Geddes in the background there, catching up to Mallard there, and the other Creme Insurance car further back there as they're working their way through. Geddes, here's Carpenter, he's got onto the back of Martin Taylor. They're just having a really good battle here. The Pack and Save boys are up into the fast race here, and they're working hard as well as they come down the straight. We see 4 Integras within the space of about a second there, with the outside, the Ortec trying to go round the outside of them.
Once again, 2K Cup showing some amazing racing there. 2 and 3 wide coming through the sweeper, unheard of.
Yeah, just side by side there. Grover is battling there in the Ortec. He's pushing hard there behind Carpenter. Had huge problems. We saw him come out of the pits in race 1. As here we come back to a safety car restart.
Once again, the field compressed. Great for the fast guys starting off the back.
As that down they come, and side by side here, David Trass is trying to take the lead off Vidvanovic, but Trass can't hold him on, and there's Trass right behind the 2 Trass cars in 2nd and 4th place as Carpenter splits them, and Vidvanovic has really got to worry about Carpenter because Carpenter's got raw pace. As they work through the battle, here we go, they come down the back straight, and it's going to be 1-2 here between Vidvanovic and Carpenter. That's going to be a great little battle that they're producing, and watch out for Grover further back there. He's coming through, he's stalking them, can't get quite past that Trass car. It's got some good straight line speed there as they come down into the braking zone. All the Trass cars side by side with Grover as they come through there. Really working hard there is Grover trying to make the move stick as we see a battle lead coming up for the lead, I think, between Carpenter and Vidvanovic in the Fairgo Carlone's car as they come through. Great to see all the CRCs on these cars. They're all well supported series by CRC. They've been a series sponsor since year 2, which has been fantastic to have them on board as they come through, and Carpenter is working hard on the back of Vidvanovic. You'll see this battle get closer. Will he be able to get beside him? He's coming down the front straight. He's going to look to the inside. Can he make the move stick here? Vidvanovic stays on the power late, does not let him pull up on him, and manages to pull down and get clear of him. So they work through the turn 2 and 3 and onto the back straight. All important here to get a good run on in the MR2. Got to use his rear wheel drive to his advantage. The mid-engine car should have the power down, but let's see Carpenter come.
Integra's got a great little run on the MR2 here. Pulls to the inside. It's going to be very interesting under braking, I think.
He's got up level with him. This is going to be see who brakes last. They've both tried to brake late here as they both squiggle their under brakes. Side by side here, Vidvanovic fights to get back up the inside.
Fantastic racing there. Neither driver wanting to give an inch, but no contact made at all.
Vodvanovic would want to get down the inside here, but I think Carpenter's managed to keep his nose up there enough, and as he gets down in the braking zone, should that be the pass as he gets wide, and here we go, that should be side by side out of there. This is great battle.
There's 3 or 4 corners now where they've been side by side. This is fantastic racing.
As they come up over the top of the hill, they can't stay side by side here as well, can they? Look at them, just so close as they come up over the top of the hill. What a battle we're seeing here as the last lap board's about to come out.
There is absolutely nothing between them as they go across the line. Just a thousandth of a second between the two here coming into the last lap.
As they work their way around the first corner, Carpenter makes the move stick, and look who's behind. Grover's coming into this battle. The top 3 is all together now.
Yeah, I think Grover's going to want to see these two try and force each other into a mistake and hopefully capitalise on anything that happens. Last lap.
As they work their way down the back straight, we've seen 3 cars all come from different spots in the field for this battle, and what a fantastic battle it is, as Grover's now starting to look to the outside of the Fairgo Car Loans car as he works through. Vodvanovic gets a little bit swirly there under brakes as they're working so hard here. He's going to try and push to catch up to Carpenter. This is the last lap. This is what counts. Grover's thinking the same behind him.
Grover looking for every option there, but just got a bad run out of that corner, so now
Vodvanovic is all over, isn't he?
Does Grover have to settle for third here?
So they work their way out of the hairpin for the final time. Let's see what they can do over the top of the hill. Can Vodvanovic pick up, or does Carpenter have enough raw power? Now remember, Carpenter started this race, we think, 10 seconds early, so there might be a post-race penalty coming up for him. But as they come over the start-finish line for the last time, we're going to see the checkered flag. We can see it waving. Oh no, we've got a red flag, and that'll mean it'll go back 1 lap. What's that for? Oh, it's the Trask car. He has been pushing that one too far. And that we've got Peter Vodvanovic as our winner.
Adam Carpenter will end up second.
Grover in third.
Followed by David Trask and then James Smith.
Gerald Trask there in sixth. He goes back a lap, so gets the finish there. He's lucky with that.
That car looking a bit of black smoke coming out of it.
And they'll be working hard. Chris Greeny in 7th. Matthew Smith in 8th. Sean Jackson in 9th. Tim
Oliver in 10th.
Shane Geddes made his way up to 11th, and Roden Wooten in 12th. Dave Rooney finished there in 13th spot with a great run from the wagon.
See smoke continuing to billow from the Trask car there. Let's hope there's not too much damage.
It's been great to have 2K Cup racing here. As I said, our series sponsors Fairgo Car Loans have been fantastic, and CRC, so it's been great to have this racing. And here we go with Peter Vodvanovic.
Tell us how that race went.
Yeah, it was an awesome race. It was super close, but I'm happy to get the win in the end. Got a red flag that saved me in the end because Adam Carpenter was coming up fast, but really happy. So yeah, I just want to thank my sponsors, McClo's ITM, Cream Insurance, Fairgo Car Loans, and of course the 2K Cup, James Watson and Mike Mallard for organising that. So it's a really awesome race.